Hi, it's Tina Tonkin, and I'm a massage therapist, meditation coach, and yoga teacher, movement teacher in Denver and Boulder, Colorado. And I'm here to offer skills to help connect into yourself as we're going through a lot of change right now, and there's been really heightened emotions. And I've done a lot of practice of how to stay really centered in my body and keep breathing and letting go of that elevated stress level. And what happens in that place when your nervous system can finally drop in is you can actually hear what's going on and you can respond to it rather than react in a defensive or patterned automatic way. And I would definitely argue that that's what we need right now. So, and I also would argue that we all need incredible compassion right now, because I know that no matter what side you're on, or even if you're not on a side, we are all feeling super, super challenging, so challenged in various ways right now. And so, just like I did, I invite you to put one hand on your heart, your lungs, and one hand on your belly. And just to feel your breath moving through your body, take this moment to really contact yourself, because that's where any kind of change, any kind of shift in your relationship with the world is going to come from. When you can settle more deeply into a peaceful relationship with yourself. And you can feel your body awareness come online. You can feel yourself settling into this present moment. This is the only moment that you can make real contact with other people. When you can hear what somebody else is actually asking for, what they're saying to you. And I know I can only speak from my own experience, but I know it's incredibly challenging to actually hear other people, and I believe that it starts with being able to really listen to ourselves and listen to what's going on with our bodies and to speak from our own embodied experience. So in this way, I fully believe that it is a revolutionary act to just breathe and to let yourself have a few moments to really drop in deeper than what the mind and our conditioning and our belief systems, what they tell us, because they're not necessarily the truth. It's really important to check in, every one of us. And start listening to ourselves and others on a deeper level, because I know that there is more potential and more possibility for good decisions, good energy to weave into what creates our society and our realities. When we each drop in and cultivate our roots and just really feel that connection with how we're landed in the earth, and the earth is holding us. And I don't think there's any one of you who can really say that the earth is not holding you. Like, there's part of me that just feels like a mama that needs to preach, because we're all big babies in certain ways. At least I know I am. We all need to be held by our mothers, and I know I need that, and I would argue that every other person on this planet needs that, as well as every animal You know, all mammals especially need to feel that connection and that holding. And I just want to say it's totally possible when we can expand with our breath and our awareness and land more fully in our bodies. And you will start to feel that holding, because we're being held. Now, some people might think that this going inward and meditating and drawing the energy in is disconnecting from the realities around us. And sure, it could be disconnecting if you do it in the way that you're not paying attention and you refuse to acknowledge what's going on around you. And that could be done with anything. Like, you don't have to be sitting and meditating to disconnect. We're all guilty of functioning from habits of the mind, conditioning, belief systems that is actually disconnected in some ways from reality. And what I'm actually advocating is going in deeper to sense what's happening in this moment, so you can feel your own response and notice it instead of just reacting in an old pattern, you know, and just be connected to what's happening for yourself. And, you know I need so much practice in this, and that's why I've dedicated a lot of time to it, because it has helped me tremendously to be able to settle in and to breathe and to just start to cycle down into a deeper, more open and receptive place, you know, being able to listen to my body and my breath, let go of some of those defenses, those automatic reactions, and to start to sense what actually is happening right now in myself as I'm witnessing the world, and then being able to acknowledge a little more. And what I've learned through the studies that I've done is that change can really only happen when our nervous systems can start to really calm down. And I do believe that we are in a collective trauma, not just the people who have classically been oppressed, but I think trauma is whenever you're disconnecting from yourself and other people, when you can't stay with your own experience and share in a real way. You know, if you feel like you need to disconnect and not be real in some way with what's happening, you know, if there's never a place where you can do that, that is trauma, in my understanding, you know. And so what goes along with trauma is an elevation in the nervous system and the ramping up of the sympathetic nervous system that just keeps you in fight or flight, not able to really settle in and see what the truth is in this moment. And so I'm just going to continue to share what I think are pretty basic fundamental practices that I'm incredibly grateful for, which is being able to just settle down and breathe, take a breath in, and have the space to let my lungs open, you know, and that just it doesn't happen on its own anymore, you know, with all of the everything happening in the world. It used to happen on its own when I would go spend time in nature. I mean, sure, it happens on its own when I'm resting and I'm sleeping and, you know, the body lets go of that tension. But I notice that I am feeling a lot in my heart and in my ribs and in my belly, where there is a drawing in and a protection just from all kinds of things right now, you know. And so I need that compassion as much as every single person in the world right now needs incredible compassion to be able to face and stay present and make good choices when we're feeling really challenged. And so in light of that, I just want to encourage you to keep sensing your body and to keep grounding in to what resources you do have, so that when you do interact with the world, and when you even just open your eyes and look out at the world, you can see better possibilities because you've got that resource, those roots, that grounding, you know, you feel that connection with yourself. Some people might think I'm crazy, but I hope that I am striking some chords out there of the music that is playing inside you that knows that you can create a better reality for yourself, for others, for the world around us, and that how much we care and connect inside can actually start to transform that song that gets shared with the world. And I know I have a lot of work to do with that still. I just have to laugh. The older I get, the more I realize, you know, that it's really difficult to put life experience into words in a real way, and that every time I try, it's just the best that I know how to do at this moment, and to just let it be completely a learning experience each time. And that it's not going to be perfect ever, because, and that's the beauty, it keeps evolving. And so this is my argument, and this is my challenge, and this is my invitation to you to really bring into your roots and bring up that energy, you know, do these practices that ground you and bring you into a feeling of resonance of, for me, it's water. I love feeling connected to earth and water. And for me, that's so nourishing, because I also have an inner fire that just starts to, and it wants to share and help transformation. And I always keep grounding back into the water and the earth, because otherwise I just burn out my energy. I'm bringing in the air, bringing in the breath, bringing in the space. You know, I find it very useful to draw on the resources of the elements and the earth, because this beautiful planet has, you know, all the things that nourish me, as far as I know. You know, I don't know anything else with this planet, but I freaking appreciate all of the elements of this planet and how it helps me to embody and experience what I need in this lifetime. And I just want to invite you to sense what it is that you need. Because all of my sharing is really just an invitation for you to reflect and see what's true for you. Because I feel like an advocate for people connecting within themselves and going deeper into place of empowerment from there. And for me, that really starts with the breath. And grounding into the body. So I encourage you to just close your eyes and go in for a few moments, just breathing, not doing anything, but just noticing what's present for you right now and noticing your breath. Just sensing where your breath is moving really easily. And notice anywhere that it's holding, anywhere that it's stuck, any restrictions. And just letting yourself sense that without any judgment of it. Just allowing your breath to move naturally as you sense your experience. And as you breathe in, let your body just gently expand open. Let your ribs and your side body open, your belly open, your back. And as you exhale, let your body just sink further into gravity, just softening. Just start to notice those areas that are holding and bring some compassionate awareness. As you breathe in, just meet those areas, the edge of them really gently, expanding into them. And as you exhale, just really letting go a little bit more into gravity. And just keep sensing your breath and your body. And just notice if anything starts to shift with your awareness. This is the practice of listening. You can cultivate a listening presence, being able to just receive more what is happening and what is being said. As your nervous system starts to calm down and to feel safe in this moment. And just notice, do you feel safe in this moment? Are you able to let your breath deepen and your body settle in? Any part of you that feels contracted or guarded, defensive or protective, just acknowledge that too, without trying to force yourself to change. Just honor whatever experience it is that you're having right now, and letting your breath keep moving around it. And I encourage you to just keep breathing and sensing. Staying curious to what shifts as you drop in and you continue to connect more deeply to your own experience. And notice if you have other things that your body needs. I notice when I sing or I hum or I tone, that vibration helps to calm my lungs and my chest. It even calms my head. So if you have some sound that needs to move through you, I encourage you, if you feel like you want to do that, to create the space to have that experience, either now or later. So let things start to unwind. And if your body needs to make some subtle movements to adjust, to feel more supported, I ask you to please do that. I'm just going to show you the way I set up my own space. I always put a pillow underneath my sacrum, so that way it helps support my back, so that way I can settle in without straining my back. And then I don't usually use pillows under my knees, but I've tried that recently and found it to be incredibly helpful. So especially if you have any strain with sitting in lotus position, in cross-leg position, please put pillows under your knees and just see how that changes your experience. I want you to feel incredibly supported right now. More than you normally allow yourself to feel supported. And I ask you, what would it look like to have that support right now in your own experience, in the way that you relate with yourself? And that means, really honoring what you need. And the way that I can start to encourage that experience for you is to set that up on the physical and energetic level, to show you really simple practices to get into that supportive, energetic space. And the most simple and fundamental supportive practice is just awareness of your breath. And that's just sensing, no matter what position you're in, standing, walking, working, playing with your kids, talking to your partner, spending time with your family, your friends, walking the streets, protesting. How do you stay present with your own experience and really ground into what you want to create, instead of just acting out old patterns and thoughts and words? And you don't have to be sitting and meditating to find these new possibilities, but I would say that you do have to be connected to your breath and let your body start to unwind these old patterns and to sense deeper to what's happening right now and how have some new choices and have more power over those choices by breathing and sensing. I know we all need to practice this more right now. So, and always like bring that lightheartedness into your heart in whatever ways that you can, because we all need that. We all need to feel connected and not too heavy, and safe to just be who we are and to express that more. So I just want to encourage that and encourage us to trust that what we want to express when we tap into what's there, there's all kinds of things, you know? I mean, there's layers of sadness, there's layers of pain and hurt and suppression and places where we think we can't do what we want to do, and like all of this is blocking, you know, all of the amazing joy and possibility that's also there. And then around certain people we feel more of that possibility, and around other people we feel more of that limitation. But I would just encourage you to really tap in deeper beyond those automatic reactions that happen, and to see how you can bring some new life into your experience. I know many of you already do this, right? There's so many awesome people sharing creative solutions. And I was driving in Denver and saw all these artworks pasted on the buildings. It just says hope, and it's surrounded in hearts, just hearts radiating out energy of hope. And it definitely lifted my spirits. And what simple thing can you do that's really authentic for you? You know, what is a gift from your essential being? Like, what is it that makes you just love your life and love being human? And I think we all need to share more of that. And that's what's going to help us see each other as humans. You know, we need to share our grief, our joys, our pains, our sorrows, and our celebrations. And yeah, I feel like it's a really potent time for change right now. And then the only way that we can really take advantage of it is to connect within and see what wants to evolve through you, and to share those things. And yeah, and you don't always know what those things are, especially if something new is evolving, and it's important to go deeper than our minds to figure out what it is that we want to share. So that's why I again offer these practices of getting into your body and your breath and finding what's supportive to you, and then moving that energy out into the world even more. And I just pray that what I share can be a gift, and that I'm not too attached to the outcome, and that I don't take things personally, and that I realize that, of course, I'm making mistakes. I'm not like some guru or professional, whatever, you know. I'm just a person who has some experience that I want to share. And I just want to encourage you to find that in yourself. It feels like where you want to share. So, although I am a professional massage therapist and I do listen to people professionally, and I've done that since 2008, so I've had a lot of practice in it, I know there's tons more practice that I need in it, and that I fail at it all the time. And I miss what people are really sharing with me, and get stuck in my own ideas. So, and I certainly don't have the answers to everything for myself or for other people. But, that one thing of just coming back to the breath is always a truth that I feel like I can share. So, many, many, many blessings to you. Blessings beyond what you can conceive of. Blessings for your health, your connection to yourself and others. Blessings for having what you care about really start to expand and weave out into the world as you connect more deeply into a place of love with yourself. Embodied blessings.